All right, now to the stuff that everyone is talking about. It's April and the road to the championship is ending right here in Glendale. The national semifinal games had it all: excitement, drama, disappointment. Lauren Hunt has been on top of it and has a look at how the first two games of the Final Four went down. Lauren?
Yeah, Jacob, both games came down to the final seconds on Saturday, but ultimately North Carolina and Gonzaga came out on top. The Final Four kicked off with nothing but excitement as the top four teams in the nation were ready to face off in Phoenix. And first up was South Carolina and Gonzaga.
And just an awesome basketball game with just how hard both teams competed.
And awesome it was, to say the least. With 7:39 left to play, the Gamecocks take a 16-0 run to tie the game at 65. In the end, the Bulldogs defeated the Gamecocks 77-73. After a heartbreaking loss, Coach Frank Martin getting emotional when talking about the effect the teams had on South Carolina.
And they've impacted our community in an unbelievable way, which is worth so much more than the score of a game. It's what it's all about. These kids are great role models.
Now next up, North Carolina and Oregon battle it out.
It was two teams really playing hard, really wanted to win.
Both teams determined to clinch the win, but with Kennedy Meeks' 25 points, the Tar Heels were hard to be stopped.
I just took it upon myself to just try to do the best I could to call for the ball. Especially when my teammates got in trouble.
The score at 77-76 with 4 seconds left in the game. Oregon has a chance to win it all, but just can't come up with the rebound.
So we do work on those things. We do talk about those things, but feel very lucky, but that's okay. It doesn't make any difference. We're still one of two teams playing on Monday night.
This is Gonzaga's first time in the national championship, while the Tar Heels of North Carolina are making back-to-back appearances. At the University of Phoenix Stadium, Lauren Hunt, NAZ Today.
All right, thanks, Lauren. While NAU might not have made it to the postseason, head basketball coach Jack Murphy makes it a point each and every year to head out to the Final Four. We caught up with Murphy on Sunday to get his thoughts on the tournament thus far and find out who he thinks will be cutting down the nets and going home with the championship trophy. Jack Murphy is down here at the Final Four meeting with other coaches to gain some insight on how to improve the NAU basketball program and take them to the next level.
Maybe practice habits that they might be changing, or different ideas that we could bring to NAU and to our program to help us enhance our style or enhance our program in any way possible.
Now, it's not all business for Coach Murphy. He has been able to enjoy the games as well. He offers his thoughts on the end of the North Carolina-Oregon game.
Not panic, but a little bit like, we need this, one more. But the way it worked out and the way that those guys rebounded the ball, it didn't even give Oregon a chance to tie or win the game.
Coach Murphy has been in a situation similar to South Carolina when they made a run through the CIT tournament a few years ago. And he knows the impact that basketball players can have on a small community.
I think it's tough at the end of any season as a coach. You get emotional, especially when you lose players that have impacted your program so much. For us, it's Jordan Martin, or 2 years ago it was Quentin Upshur and Len Springs and Asim Dixon, Zach Reynolds, Galen Buernick. I was definitely emotional after that game at Evansville. For Coach Martin, it's Sindarius Thornwell. I mean, he totally changed and brought the South Carolina program up to a different level. And we've done it one time at NAU and Flagstaff. We need to do it again here coming up very shortly.
Murphy is dedicated to getting NAU an appearance at the big dance. But as for his thoughts on this year's championship?
So it'll be interesting. If Gonzaga can keep North Carolina off the glass, which I think they can with those bigs I just mentioned, and continue to shoot well from the perimeter with Jordan Matthews, Williams Goss, and Josh Perkins, Melson. They've only been beaten one time all year. So I look for Gonzaga to win a tight and close and really good national championship game.
And Jack Murphy isn't the only familiar face with us down in the Valley. Even though a lot of attention is put on the games and the fanfare that surround them, it takes a huge team of volunteers to make sure that things run smoothly at the Final Four. NAU's own Stayson Isobe is one of those volunteers and is here with me now. And Stayson, you're a sports information director at NAU, so what are some of the responsibilities that you have down here this weekend, though?
I've had a ton of really related sports information duties, whether it's passing out stats at halftime, post-game, distributing pregame material, collecting and transcribing quotes, and just really working the press conferences. And that's been maybe my favorite part of the experience, just really trying to hear the reactions from the coaches and student athletes.
So why do this down here at the Final Four?
I think it's a great opportunity. With the Final Four for the first time being here in the Valley, just being up the mountain, this is a great opportunity to come down and really further myself professionally, but also to see, just take it all in, to soak it all in, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Definitely. So what do you hope personally to take away from this experience?
I think the biggest thing is just seeing what it takes from a game day management, from a support staff standpoint, to put on an event like this. We strive at NAU Athletics to really create a fan-friendly environment at our games and to see, just to take it all in, see what they do during media timeouts, up on the video board, on the scoreboard, to really get the fans engaged. Hopefully I can bring some of that back up, some ideas, and really bring that to Lumberjack Nation.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks. And that brings us now to the end of the road. Just a month ago, we started this thing called March Madness with a field of 68 teams. And now we are here in April with just 2 of them remaining, the Bulldogs of Gonzaga and the Tar Heels of North Carolina. Here's what to expect heading into the championship game.
So we're very similar.
We're different. I mean, we're the same, but we're different.
They have more size than anybody we played all year long. Our big guys are going to be challenged a lot different way than they have been before.
Transition, obviously. I mean, it's going to be the biggest challenge, getting back and just, they're so fast and they're so good. I mean, they're as good as it gets in college basketball with offensive rebounding, and they have a plan and they do it well.
But you only have to win once. Be relaxed, be focused, and play the best you can play and see what happens. I have a tremendous amount of respect and maybe even some fear because I want to see how our guys are going to react playing against some other big guys like that.
And of course, the championship game is taking place right behind me on Tuesday. We'll have a full recap of the title game right here on NAZ Today, and be sure to follow us on social media as we continue to bring you a behind-the-scenes look at all of the madness. In Glendale, for Lauren Hunt and Xavier Rangel, I'm Jacob Larson.